What's up, everybody? I got my predictions for UFC Seattle, Adesanya versus Pyfer. I'm going to make it quick, concise, and good. We're going to have good predictions this week. Last week was terrible. Don't look back at that. It happens. Anyways, let's hop right in. Starting with the prelim opener, we have Alexia Tyanara versus Bruna Brazil. Simple pick here. Bruna Brazil, she absolutely sucks. She's not good at fighting. She's just not good. Alexia Tyanara she's decent. She's solid. She's better pretty much everywhere. So she's gonna be the pick by decision. Don't see her getting a finish, but she will be the pick here. Not getting in that fight too much. Next up, we have Ricky Simone versus Adrian Yanez. This is basically a pick'em. I think this is a fun fight, honestly. I don't really see it being a finish at all. I don't, Ricky Simone doesn't really get finishes too often. Adrian Yanez, I don't see him finishing Ricky Simone. With that being said, I think to win this fight, Ricky Simone will have to grapple. And I think, hopefully, he's going to want to get back in the win column and really push that grappling, shoot takedowns on Adrian Yanez, and get him down there in the ground, control him, and land some damage. I see him winning a 29-28, 30-27 decision over Yanez relatively confidently. Like I said, odds-wise, it's a pick-em. But Ricky Simone, relative confidence will be the pick in this fight. Moving on, we got my man Navajo Stirling taking on Bruno Lopez. This is a good one, honestly. I'm looking forward to this one in light heavyweight division. Navajo Stirling, training partner of Israel Adesanya, both in camp, same time, training together. I see Navajo Stirling absolutely pacing him up, getting a finish, round 2. He's very good, honestly. He's one of the things I like about him a lot is, and you don't see this in a lot of the younger fighters, is his patience in fights. He's pressing, he's looking for the finish, but he's not like fighting like Terrence McKinney, where he's just throwing himself in bad positions to try to get the finish. He's pushing for it, but he's staying smart. He's fighting smart. He's only 8-0, and he fights like he's like 20-0 and has a ton of experience, which I really like to see out of him. And he has power. He's got a lot of weapons. Obviously, training with City Kickboxing, you tend to get that sort of thing. So I have him winning by round 2 TKO over Bruno Lopez, kind of maybe pushing him up against the fence and finishing him there. Next up, we have Casey O'Neill taking on Gabriela Fernandes. Casey O'Neill, going to be the pick. A lot of people are picking her, which I get. She's an underdog, small underdog, I think. It's almost a pick 'em at this point. Probably by the time the fight happens, it will be a pick 'em. But Casey O'Neill will be the pick. Yeah, by decision. I don't see her finishing Gabriela Fernandes, but by decision will be the pick. She's going to get a little underdog upset win here. She's still pretty young. She's good. Physical. A lot of output, which is really important in women's MMA. You need to get stuff out there. A lot of them are pitter-pattering and are not really throwing. In women's MMA, you don't really have that one-shot power where you can just change the tide of the fight with one shot. You got to get volume out there. And she throws at like a over 7 significant strike per minute clip, which is really high. So I like that sort of thing if I'm picking someone as an underdog especially. So Casey O'Neill will be the pick there. Moving on, we have Marcin Tybura versus Tyrell Fortune. Marcin Tybura, going to be the pick. With this reason here being, I went back and watched one of Tyrell Fortune's fights, and when he got mounted, just looked lost, man. And if Marcin Tybura, he's not elite by any means, really. He's all right. I can see him getting on top of Fortune and just wailing on him. So he's gonna be the pick. Maybe a finish, maybe a decision. I just think he's got a bit more experience in the UFC and stuff. Not super confident in this fight either way. I see a lot of people picking Fortune, but I'm not gonna. It's his debut. I've been fading a lot of fighters in their debuts, and it's kind of been working in most cases. So I'm gonna stick with that and pick Marcin Tybura. Maybe finish, probably. I don't know. I can't really say finish or decision, but I'm gonna go hedge late finish. Next up, Chase Hooper taking on Lance Gibson Jr. This one is a tough one. I am picking Chase Hooper to win by submission, but after his last fight, his striking looked genuinely atrocious, but I'm still picking him. I don't think Lance Gibson Jr. is very good at all. I don't, it's only his second fight in the UFC. He lost to Bobby Green, who honestly had one of his had a not great performance versus him. But I think if they were to fight again, I think Green would beat his ass way better. With that being said, I think Chase Hooper is going to fight a lot smarter this time. Really just try to avoid the striking. In his last fight against Alexander Hernandez, he was trying to strike with him, and it's not his game. Chase Hooper is a really, really good grappler, and that's really about it. He's big, really lanky. He's thought out in his frame a little bit better as well. I see him just pushing the grappling and submitting Lance Gibson Jr. If he does not, this is kind of the same sort of thing with Ricky Simone I mentioned earlier. If he does not push the grapple, I think he gets finished. So it is a really worrisome pick. He's like a minus 250 favorite, which I understand why, but at the same time, I don't know, man. But he will be the pick by submission, round 2. I think round 1 he can, get a couple takedowns. Really actually struggle to get Lance Gibson down to the ground, but the round 2 is going to get him down, and submit him. That will be the pick. Chase Hooper by submission. Moving on, fun fight here. Ignacio Bahamondes versus Tafiq Musayev. Pick here will be Ignacio Bahamondes by TKO. He lost his last fight to Rafael Fiziev. It's Fiziev, right? Yeah, it's Fiziev. Who, we know is very good. Technically, Muay Thai, he's really, really good. So it's not a bad loss at all. Musayev lost in his last fight versus Miktabek Orabai. It was not a bad loss either, but getting submitted versus losing a decision it weighs differently. Ignacio Bahamondes is absolutely huge compared to Musayev, just giant. I think he's gonna push the grapple a little bit maybe, and kind of wear on Musayev, and then and finish him with maybe ground and pound. Honestly, I just think the size difference in this fight is gonna be giant. 6-inch reach advantage, 6-inch height advantage. Bahamondes more experience in the UFC, and he's fought a really good fighter in Rafael Fiziev. I think that's gonna come into play in this fight, and I see him getting a finish in round 2, round 3. That's gonna be the pick. Moving on. Terrence McKinney versus Kyle Nelson. Dude, I am so split on this fight. I really am. I'm so split. I want to pick Terrence McKinney. I really, really like him. I want to pick him. I don't dislike Kyle Nelson at all. He's so tough. And, Terrence McKinney kind of is round 1 or bust. I just have a feeling that he might fight a little smarter this fight. Just kind of in a little smarter for him. Terrence McKinney's going to be the pick, round 2 finish. So I think he might actually slow it down a little in the first round and then really kind of bring it on late first round, early second round. I hope. I just have a feeling. I just got some sort of feeling. So this is the feeling pick. This fight is so 50-50. This is such a hard fight to pick because any fight with Terrence McKinney is, unless you're fighting Chris Duncan. I picked Chris Duncan with confidence. Even that fight, T-Rex made a little scary. But T-Rex will be the pick, round 2 finish. I think he's going to take it a little slower this fight and really kind of draw it out more because Kyle Nelson's not easy to finish. He's so tough. So Terrence McKinney will be the pick here, round 2 TKO. Moving on to a fun middleweight fight. We got Mansour Abdul-Malik, undefeated, taking on Yuzi Belgaroui, who had a really good performance. His last one finished, I think it was over Azamat Bokoyev, right? Training partner of Alex Pereira, really good kickboxer. I've got him winning by decision. Yeah, decision. Mansour Abdul-Malik he's decent, he's solid. Not as good as I think we thought he was gonna be. And I think Belgaroui, he is better than we thought he was gonna be. Obviously, we knew he was pretty decent. He has a win over Alex Pereira in kickboxing, and they're training partners now. But he was a big underdog in his last fight. I picked against him in his last fight. And he won dominantly. This is going to be a close fight. I think that's why I picked decision. I could see a finish from either of them, truthfully. But I think they're going to probably just kind of fight at range and not really engage too much. I have a feeling it might just be a bit of a boring fight, unfortunately. But Belgaroui by decision is going to be the pick here. Relative confidence. Yeah. Moving on to the main card. We have Julian Erosa taking on Larry and Douglas. This is an interesting one. I know. There's only, I guess, 4 fights on the main card. Is that? No, I guess 6. Okay, sorry, I'm tripping. I've seen a lot of people taking Julian Erosa as like a plus 270 underdog, and I understand why. I do. I still am tempted to pick him. To throw a little money on him as that big of an underdog. I don't think he should be that big of an underdog. However, with that being said, he's so slow, dude. Excuse me, sorry. He's so slow. I remember watching him. Which fight was it? It was against it was his second to last fight against Darren Elkins in Miami. I was there in person, and he was beating up Darren Elkins. But holy shit, he was slow, man. He just threw at like 0.5 speed. And Larry Douglas is fast and he hits really fucking hard, man. So Larry Douglas, by TKO in round 1 or round 2 is going to be the pick. I think I would not be surprised if Julian Erosa pulls it off. But recently I've been picking too many people in Julian Erosa's spot, and it's been screwing me. And I've been trying to fade these debut guys, but Julian Erosa's speed I can't get by it. I think he's just so slow. It's going to cause problems. I think he's going to get caught. But we could see a crafty performance out of him. I just don't see it happening. So Larry Douglas by round 1 or round 2 TKO is going to be the pick. We have Michael Chiesa versus Nico Price. I don't know how Nico Price is in the UFC at this point, bro, to be honest with you. He just keeps taking short notice fights and just losing. Chiesa, round 1 submission. Yeah, that's the pick. I think he's gonna make it look easy. He was fighting a much better opponent originally. I forget who it was, and then they had to pull out, and now he's gonna fight Nico Price. I think he's gonna submit him round 1. That's the pick. I think it's his retirement fight, if I'm not mistaken. So that should be fun. I think he's from Seattle too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Or from like Washington at least. I don't know. Either way, I think he is. In the co-main event, we have Alexa Grasso taking on Macy Barber. Why do we have women's MMA co-main events in 2026? I do not know. It is what it is. Macy Barber, on a good streak right now. Think she's gonna beat Alexa Grasso. I think Alexa Grasso is kind of past her time. Macy Barber is just looking really good. She's young. She's 27. She's going to mix this fight up. I think she beats Alexa Grasso by decision, 30-27. Simple as that. I don't think Alexa Grasso really has it anymore. And Macy Barber is really strong and is pretty skilled as well. So she'll be the pick. And now in the main event, last but surely not least, we have Israel Adesanya getting back in there, taking on Joe Pyfer. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. I'm picking Israel Adesanya, though. I really am. I think my breakdown on this fight really is that in the first 2 rounds, Israel Adesanya has to be so careful, man. Just do not engage with Joe Pyfer. Eat him up with leg kicks, body kicks for the first 2 rounds. Just kind of wear him out a little bit. Pyfer will slow down substantially after the first 2 rounds. You'll have landed leg kicks and body kicks, really kind of chewed him up. Maybe, a couple body jabs, a couple jabs in general. Just kind of just avoiding engaging with him, because I think if Pyfer lands an Izzy, it's not going to be good. Maybe even try to counter wrestle a little bit. I don't know if that's the best game plan, but try to draw this fight out. I think if this fight gets out of the first 2 rounds, Pyfer's absolutely screwed. I think experience will take over. I think Israel Adesanya will start to pour on him with volume, and I think Israel Adesanya can get a finish in round 4, round 5, after just chewing him up with the kicks in the first 2 rounds. maybe first 3 rounds. I think we'll see a classic Izzy performance here, just kind of drawing it out, using his experience, his length, and taking out Joe Pyfer round 4 or 5. I like Pyfer. I think he's very good. I think he's well-rounded. I think he will be, stay around in the UFC middleweight rankings. But I just don't think he's going to – this is a fight where he's going to take that big jump up here yet. So Israel Adesanya, by late finish, classic Israel Adesanya performance, round 4, round 5. Right hand, down the pipe, cracks Joe Pyfer. That's the pick. I'm actually really excited for this fight, honestly. So, yeah, we will see how this plays out. I thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Appreciate the support, and have a good one.